Close my door. All right. Hey, everybody. It's Catie Harris, owner and CEO of NursePreneurs. And today we're talking about another feature of NOLA, which is amazing. All right. So, Ira, we're talking about invoices, documentation, all that kind of good stuff. So, we are, when you sign into your NOLA account, you can see on the left-hand side of the screen in the dark blue, there's a section called Payments. If you go to Payments, at the top, you have these different features, and we're going to go over what these features are so that you can use them better in your business. So the first one we have is invoices and estimates. So you can see there's a little yellow button that says new. That's not always going to be there, but whenever High Level adds new features, which they seem to do constantly, you will get a notification that something's new. So in the future, once we get through all of these, we'll go back and do the new stuff that's constantly coming on. And I've been with High Level for several years now, and yeah, I mean the NOLA that we have today, which is our version of it, built out for you with the support and everything that you need, is way different than it was even just 2 years ago. So there's some major improvements all the time. All right, so one of the first things that you need to do, and our demo account doesn't have this, but before we get into payments and stuff, if you go all the way to the right where Ira is, there's a section called integrations. You can integrate your payment, and you won't be able to obviously accept any payments until you have some sort of integration. Oh, Square's new. So Square wasn't in High Level before, and now it is. So if you use Square as your payment processor, you can connect it direct from here. It is fully integrated, so it'll walk you through the steps. If you hit connect, then it'll say, connect, and we don't have a Square account, so we're not going to go through those steps, but you can absolutely connect that. And obviously up at the top, we have Stripe, so you can connect Stripe. You can connect with PayPal if you have authorized net or MNI. You can connect with those. If you take manual payment methods, you can add that so that you can register that you're taking manual payments, so that you can reflect that in your ledgers and stuff for your accounting. And was there more? It's a search for more down at the bottom. Nope, that's it. So those are the ones, and the Square is huge because a lot of people have Square, and that's relatively new, or at least I haven't seen it in a while. So this is one of the first things that you want to do. You want to connect your payment merchant processing person or a system into this. And then if you go to settings, I know we're kind of working backwards, at the top all the way to the right, yeah. This is where you can enable receipts. So every time somebody buys something, you can send a receipt. And so I would fill this information out, right? And the title is just receipt, that's fine. And where it's coming from, name used while sending the receipt. If left blank, the business name will be used. So if you want it to come from your name specifically, like if I wanted it to be from Catie Harris, we would do that. But if we leave it, and then all the receipts would say the payment came from Catie Harris. If you leave it blank, then it'll just come from the business. In this case, the business is called NP Demo Account. So that's what the receipt would say. And then you can put your email, but if you leave it blank, whatever email system the system has, that's what would be sent. And then the subject line, so you can see those brackets, it's going to say receipt.company name. So it'll be receipt NP demo account, or let's say it's, your business is called Jane's IVs. So it would say Jane's IVs, thank you for your recent purchase. That's how it would look. And then they've created a default email template for you. So you can change the template if you want. And that's all in the marketing section for emails. And you can change that. You can go watch other videos where we show you how to change emails, but that's where the default is coming from. And then if you want to add special terms like no refunds, no cancellations, no whatever. You can put it there, but just remember that whatever you put in this box is going to go on every single receipt. All right. So if you don't want it to go on every single receipt, then leave it blank. And then you're going to just save that. And then if you go back up, the next one is taxes. So if you collect taxes, you can, add your tax rate. If you have something like, there's certain companies, trying to think what it is. I think it's Hotjar that does taxes, and they'll configure for states, especially if you do it, if you accept taxes nationwide, or you have to configure taxes based on where it's purchased. You can do that, and then they do all the filing for you. So if you are in a tax bracket and you need to collect taxes, this is where you would put that information. And make sure you put your tax ID number, which is your EIN number you got from the IRS. All right, come out of there. And then notifications, if you, so they've automatically enabled abandoned cart. So if somebody goes to your cart, let's say they put something in there and then they, disappear. This will send a default email 1 hour afterwards that says, hey, come back and complete your purchase. You can toggle that off if you don't want that to happen, but that's an automated, it's already toggled on. So if you don't want that, you have to toggle it off. There you go. Order confirmation email for stores. So this will send your customers. And if you set up a store, and we did this video last week, but if you set up a store and you set it up properly, then they'll get an automated email that says your order has been successfully placed. And that is toggled on. If you don't want that on, then you toggle it off. And an order fulfillment email as well. So if you have shipping details, that order fulfillment will go out with it. So let's go up. Shipping and delivery. So if you have shipping, so you can add a zone and how much you would charge. So if you want to charge for shipping at checkout, actually didn't realize this was here. Can we add a zone? What is the zone? The United States. 62 states. Interesting. So they include America Samoa. All right. So yeah. And then, so if you mail to all 62 states, and then it looks like you can select Canada as well. And then you would go in, I got to do this for my own store because I didn't realize this was here. If you have other, countries, then you can add that as well. Or if you only want to send to a certain states, you can just click the ones that you want to click. And then you just have to name the zone. All right. And then you can add the rate, whatever the rate is for shipping. Oh my God, I can't believe this is here. I so needed this. And you can also use, so that was a flat rate. You can also, there was also an option, if you go back real fast, Ira, there was an option for conditional pricing by weight. And there was also, I saw something else for, it wasn't flat price. Where was that? No, use carrier or app to calculate rate. So we have a company called ShipStation, and they calculate the rate. So you could put the would have to integrate that into the system. Can you try ShipStation? See if they're in there. Oh, no data. I have to figure out how to do that because that would be helpful. And maybe it's in as we go down. All right, so so you can also put a handling fee on here as well. So if you want to put an amount or a percentage, so if you want to do 10% of the purchase price, or you want to just add a $5 flat fee for handling the whole aspect of it as well. So, obviously there's a cost to sending stuff out to people, and you can just add that in. So that's a lot. But anyway, that's how you can calculate shipping and delivery. So, and then shipping origin, where is it coming from? this is where it's all coming from. So that this is your office details, or wherever you're sending it from. That's the origin of where the package is going to come from. And then subscriptions. Yeah, so you have the option to, the subscription settings in here. So it'll retry if somebody's payment fails, and unfortunately that does happen. It'll retry one day after the attempt, and then another day, and then another day. And then if you want, if all retries of the payment failed, you can have it automatically cancel the subscription, or you can certainly create an automation that alerts you and tells you that the subscription has failed. And that would be done in automations. You would just create a workflow for that. And well, here's this manage invoices for failed. This is make it easy. Automatically create invoices for failed subscription payments and send invoices to customers via email and SMS. So yeah, all this stuff is done for you, so you don't have to do any of it. It's amazing. But you want to go in to make sure you go, when you first come in here, if this is the first time you're in here, these are the two tabs that you need to set up first. So go to integrations and go to settings. Those are the first two things to do. And then the next thing I would probably do is go to products, and inside products, I think we've been in here before. You would add your different products, and all you have to do is create a product, which is at the top right, the blue button. It says create product, and you simply go through there. It's defaulted to include in the online stores. So if you don't want this in an online store, I would toggle that off, just because if you do set up a store and you have lots of products, then you have to go through and toggle that off for everyone. So it should be off just by default, but it's not. And then you can just add your product name, the description, you can add media, and we've done this in other videos. So you can check out the other videos. Wait, don't go. There's the tax prices there. So it include tax prices. So we set up in the settings the tax prices. So if you have that, you can use the global settings that are already there. Come out of there, Ira. So you see how there's no, scroll up.
We did not create a tax earlier.
Yeah, no, just go into products for a minute and create a product and scroll down. All right, and scroll down and stop. Okay, so this section here, if you want to not include tax in this, let's say it's a non-taxable item, you can, for this specific item, say you don't want taxes. Otherwise, the global settings that you set up in the settings tab will apply, right? Or if you don't have global settings and you do want tax on this, you can click on yes, and it's going to ask you the price shown to the customer will include the tax amount already. And then you can attach tax rates as well. And this is useful if you don't use automated taxes or your customers are outside of the US. And then for additional options, this is going to, you can just add a statement descriptor. So yeah, and we've done all this. So, you can certainly check out other videos on payments, but this would be another section that I would go to after I've done integrations, settings set up, put in all your products, and make sure all that is set up. And then what the other pieces that are under products at the top, just the collections, and we went through this, so we're not going to go through this again, but you can watch other videos on the products. And then transactions are just what has happened. So there's nothing to do there. That's going to fill up as you make sales. Payment links, I'm pretty sure we went through this when we went through products. So that section, you can, when you look up our video that was done on the products, you can create a new payment link based off the products, and then you can just copy and paste a link that they can just purchase. Subscriptions will just show you the subscriptions that somebody has purchased, so there's nothing there. So that leaves the invoice and estimates and documents and contracts. So that's where we are right now. So for invoices, if you have invoices, anything that you send out as an invoice will show up here. So you can create a new invoice by clicking the button that says new. And you can create a new invoice. You can create a recurring invoice. And obviously the system desperately wants us to integrate a payment system. But this is what your invoice is going to look like on the right. So it has the business name, and this is called our demo account. It has our phone number, our address, all that information, and then it's going to list out what the person purchased, the item, the price, the quantity, if there was tax, the subtotal, and then the amount that's due. So, and from here you can select the customer. So if you, you would do that, and then it automatically fills in the person's information, and you can obviously add a customer from here as well. And then you can always adjust the invoice date, the issue dates, the due dates. So, I mean, that's a long time, 2 weeks. So if you want them, let's say you have a special and you say, well, you can only have this until this Friday, and if you don't pay by Friday, then the deal's off, type of thing. So you could have a due date there. You can enable tax automatically or not. And you can add products directly from here as well. And then up at the top, you have a couple options. So the send button has that down chevron, and you can copy and mark as sent. What about those three little buttons? You can send it. Oh, okay.
Preview record payment, manually record payment, if they have the card information of the client.
Okay. Or if somebody's paying cash,
Yes.
You can use that as well. Oh, I see. You can charge a card or record manually. So you could process the client's card straight from here. Now, when you have all this connected, you can also send to somebody's email, and you can send it via SMS, and that would be done with the send button. When you send it, it's going to ask you if you want to send email and text, email, or just text. So you could do all those things. And since we don't have payments set up and none of this is live, we won't be able to send, but that would be how you do it. And that's pretty simple. So this is for pretty much one-offs, or if you have a coaching business and you want to send somebody an invoice and you want them to pay, they'll be able to pay directly from this email or text. All they have to do is put their information in, and then the additional information. So if you have terms and conditions, you can add those here. If you want to charge late fees, if you want to include a tipping option, or if you want to add an attachment to this, all of those additional options are available for this invoice. So that is pretty straightforward. And then you can save it, and you can send it later if you want to work on it. But that is the invoice. So invoice and estimate. So back up there. If you have a recurring invoice, let's say somebody pays every month, they need to pay, that can be done here. And it's pretty much the same concept. So nothing exciting or new there. And then the other feature is the estimates. If you want to go to estimates. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, well, we'll do estimates first. That's fine. You can do a new estimate. And this will not bill them. It just tells them what it looks like. So it's the same concept. Everything is the same. They just won't be able to pay. Is that correct, Ira?
Yes, they will be able just to see here the total estimate.
Right. So, I mean, this seems like a lot of work. You may as well just set the invoice. So the other thing that this has, if you scroll up to the top, is you can see right here, it says link opportunity. So one of the things that you can do, and this goes back to the video we did on pipelines. So if you have a pipeline, let's say part of your pipeline is you sent the estimate to the person, right? So they can move in the pipeline section from one card to the next. So that's under opportunities. So you could create a pipeline, and let's say you have a new lead, and so then you talk to the new lead and you wanted to send them the estimate. Then let's say they received the estimate, so you could move their card to, let's say, hot lead, and now that person is a hot lead, and there could be an automation built in that's maybe tells your sales team, I don't know, they opened the estimate, or make sure you follow up in a couple of hours, or whatever you want, whatever you can think of, that you want to hit that person with multiple touch points. If they open the estimate, if they looked at it, if they received it, if it's been 2 days, whatever the condition is, you can create that and have them automatically move through the pipeline so that you can keep track of people. So this is a really, really powerful feature. You just have to know what outcome it is that you want, and then you can build the opportunity. So you can link that opportunity there. And there's, she's in that leads. So we connected the link opportunity here. So you'll be able to use that functionality at this point. All right. And then the last thing is on this section, there's templates. So if you send the same estimates or invoices out all the time, then I would just create a template, and then it'll be there always. Like if you have a coaching package, or you have a certain program that people do, or a membership, you can send this to them. And it would be, the same terms and conditions, or maybe there's an attachment. So you don't have to do this every single time. You can just create a template. You just name the template up at the top, and you can add whatever you want. So multiple things there. You could save it, and then there's your template. And then every time you want to use this template, you can just do the 3 little doohickey things. Right there. And then you can use it one time, you can use it recurring, or you can edit it all together. So if you use it one time, it will pull it up. As an invoice, you select the customer, and it's not going to, all of that stuff is already there. So all this stuff, and then you can just send it. So that makes it super easy. It saves you a lot of time. All right, so then that's that column. And then the other column is the documents and contracts. And this has been here for some time. And this is extremely helpful for those of you that need to get signatures. So this replaces DocuSign, HelloSign, any of those systems, because now you don't need that. So you can create, again, templates for your clients, and you can import from a template library. You can upload existing PDFs that are already created, which is really nice, or you can create your own document, a proposal, estimate, or contract from scratch. So which one do we want to do?
Earlier, I imported home healthcare.
Okay.
From the library template. So, for instance, they would like to have a home healthcare proposal. So, this is a sample contract. Just to quickly show on how we import this. So, we just need to click on New. Let me go back here. Okay, click on New and then import from template library. So, there are a lot of templates available here.
And these are already created for you. So all you have to do is select one, and then you can use this for yourself, change out the images, change out the words, and then make it your own.
And once it is loaded, so this is how it will look like inside of the system. So custom values are used here. So the first name of the contact will auto-populate here, then the business name, the business email, and then the information here. They can modify it based on their policies and conditions. And then they can also add here because they're here on the plus sign there are elements that they can add, like they can add here product list like this one. They can also add images, text, or make the content in a table view. So here for instance they would like to show the amount for the service, so they will be able, they can also set up the payment settings. For instance, they would like to collect payments for this proposal. And then the good thing here is they can add the signature or the fillable fields like the signature, the name, the date sign, checkbox.
Yeah, I mean that's really nice. So you don't need DocuSign basically, which is a huge savings. The other nice thing that they have in that Elements feature was the initial. So let's say you have multiple different things and you want somebody to acknowledge different areas. You can add the initials, and then they can just initial the contract at different points to show that they read certain sections, which can be very powerful. But can you just click into like the colors so that we can just show them how easy it is to change colors?
Okay. Change color. So here at the top there are different settings here, like they can change the font style, like the font size as well, and then they can make it italic, bold, underlined, and then they can also change the alignment. For instance, they would like it to be centered. And then for the color, so there's text color here, so if they would like to adjust it like on a blue font, so they will have it here.
Okay. And then if you want to change the whole background color, you can choose the little eyedropper thing. So you would select the whole document. And then if you pull that back up where you just were, there's that eyedropper. And then you can, you can highlight that section. Probably the advanced has hex codes, I'm imagining.
So if they have the code, they can just go to advanced and then they can update the code here. Or they can just directly paste here the color code.
So if you know your hex codes, which you should, you can do that. Now those tabs, with the little dots inside them, that makes those movable sections. So you can pick them up and drag them and move them to different areas. So if you want that to be, somewhere else, like you want to move stuff around, and you just have to be careful because obviously this can be sensitive, and all of a sudden you've got two columns when you want one, and it can get frustrating. So they are sensitive. So just make sure you're dropping them where you want to drop them, and that's it. Yeah. And then if you don't like the padding, you want it to go out further, you can increase the padding there. So that brings it in. Or if you want it to go out, whatever the case may be, just make sure you do it for all of them. And that keeps the whole document nice and consistent. And then how would you change that image up there? Or those colors.
Okay, for that one, Invoices.
I feel like there has to be a way to change that brown. And
since this is an image, so which is why it cannot be directly, so we need to upload a different background image for that.
Okay.
As you will see here,
Oh, I see. Yeah.
image is used. So let's select here page property. So as they will see here, this template is using an image. So the
Oh,
colors cannot be adjusted. So
but
they
what
can
you
just
could do is
paste
like
here.
create something on Canva if you really wanted to. Oh, look at that.
So they can just, for instance, they added a new page. They can just paste the image URL here, and then they can have the same background now. But if they don't want to use the background, for instance, they imported the template, they don't want the background, they just want to change the background color, like for instance, like a bluish gray. So they can just have that as the color, and then they can start adding the text and then
Okay,
the content.
perfect. You solved that on the fly, Ira. Good. All right, and that's how easy it can be to make your proposals, right? And then you can have them sent off, and then you can get people to pay for them all in one fell swoop. And it'll take a little time to set it up, but once it's done, it will save you a ridiculous amount of time.
Yes. So once they're good to go, just click on use template at the top, and then they will be directed to the next page where they can send the proposal or the contract to their clients. So here, there's a preview here, and if they're good to go, they can just click on send.
Well, there's that
Yes.
set signing order. And so that means if you toggle that on, you can determine who signs what first, right?
Yes.
So if you want the client to sign first and then you sign after the client, you can do that. And if you want, if 16 people need to sign this document, you can send it to 16 people. So you just keep adding, you would just keep adding signatures to it. And let's say, because, what we had before was, especially with medical directors, right? If you need the medical director, the patient to sign first, then the medical director, then you, or let's say you just need the medical director to sign your orders and then you sign the orders, or you sign the orders and the medical director, I don't know, whatever order it needs to be in, you can create this. So if you own an IV hydration or med spa and you need orders signed, this is a way to do it. And you could set your orders up this way.
So this is now the signing order. They will be able to easily identify it by the color here. Then once they're good to go, just click on send and then choose whether to send via email or share via link.
Right.
And then that's it.
Perfect. And this can also be set up in, there's probably an automation that we could set up for this. I'm going to have to think that one through, but you could, if, I'm thinking it would probably be a pipeline. If you move something to a pipeline, then it automatically sends a proposal or, a document or a contract. So you could send it to the medical director to sign that, and then it comes back to you. So this is way easier because even I think it was like a year or even 2 years ago, we were fussing around with DocuSign trying to get, how do we make this work with medical directors? And we weren't able to do this. So this is relatively, so Ira's in automation, she's building a workflow, and the trigger would be, you could do an opportunity. There's a million different ways. There's no one way. So if they move from one section to another, right? Let's say they move to, hotly. So obviously, if this was the medical director, let's say, you submit a standing order, you need the medical director to sign it. So the next one would be called medical director signature, and then you could set that up so when you do move it in that opportunity stage, then it could send document and contracts from yourself. You would select the template, and then you want to send it directly to them, or you can create a draft and make sure it looks good. But that's it. I mean, that's how easy it could be. This could make your life extremely easy. And then, of course, we're here to help you with all of this stuff. If you are a NOLA subscriber, then we absolutely can help you with these. Ira does coaching sessions. She can help work with you to set up whatever flow you need, which is the added benefit of all of this. This is one of the reasons that you do this, because if you try and get high level to work with you on this, good luck with that. They charge a crap ton of money, and you have to learn the whole system yourself, whereas we have set the system up so you don't have to spend any time trying to figure this out, and that's the beauty of it. And we charge the same price that high level charges, so you just get the extra benefits of working with us and the support, and not having to wait. My God, I spent so much money with support on high level when I first started, and I couldn't get an appointment for like 2 weeks at a time. It was crazy. So, and it's just getting worse because the whole system's getting bigger and bigger. But this is documents and contracts, invoices and estimates. This can save you an awful lot of time. And this is a great place if you need a medical director to sign off on stuff. This is a great place to do this and get this set up. All right, that is everything. And if you are interested in, yep, thank you. I was looking for that. If you're interested in NOLA, you want to go to nursepreneurs.com/NOLA by NursePreneurs and get that set up, because this is a game changer. If you have a business, you need NOLA. It's as simple as that. There's so many features in here. We will set up what you need to get started, and then this system can grow with you as your business grows. It works well with large practices, small practices, all solo practices. If you're a solopreneur, you absolutely need to have this. This is like having 6 employees at your disposal. And getting it set up the right time, the first time, is going to be really, really important. So look forward to working with you guys, and thanks so much.